today, well, actually, let's go back a couple weeks, because I did my top 10 Brickmania minifigures, and here's the video thumbnail right here. But today, we're going to be doing Dave's top 10. So, there's a few overlap, but not too many. So, anyway, Dave, you want to start off at your number 10 slot?
No, I would like to say a few words first. Picking my top 10 Brickmania minifigures was probably the most difficult thing I've ever done, maybe in my entire life.
That's scary.
I'd rather take the bar exam again. This is horrible.
Oh, you just revealed your profession.
No, not really.
Well,
anyway, it was like trying to pick your favorite children or your favorite child.
In this case, you
incidentally, you are my favorite child.
That's what my grandma always says. Every single time I go over to her house, she goes, "You're my favorite grandchild." And I go, "Oh, thanks. How many grandchildren do you have?" One.
Number 10, the German air soldier.
Air soldier.
Air soldier with the Liebermuster camo. Look at that printing. That's just unbelievable. Camo first appeared in 1945, and it was designed to defeat the then infrared technology which was coming into existence. Just beautiful, beautiful printing, custom printed.
3D printed, that is, not custom printed.
He's got a 3D printed backpack and this beautiful hat. Number 9. Oh yeah, Senior Sergeant Maria Ashi, heroine of the Soviet Union, who became one of the first female tank commanders, young Joshua, in history, when Joseph Stalin granted her request to command a T-34, which she guided and commanded with honor and called it the Fighting Girlfriend. And she's replete with her tanker's cap and a PPSH submachine gun. So hats off to Maria at number 9. Number 8. Now you picked this one on your top 10 list as well.
Yes.
And there's a good reason it's on both lists. This guy is cool. The 10th Cavalry Regiment Buffalo Soldier. 10th Cavalry was a segregated unit in the U.S. Army, served during the Indian Wars and into other wars as well, and of course they were named Buffalo Soldiers.
The really, really cool thing about this guy is he has that pearl gun there, and then he also has those gold spurs on the back. So yeah.
Yeah, the gold spurs are just awesome. I love him because of the hat. Then the White Death, Simo Huha. And I love all the historical figures. In fact, many of these are historical figures, and I guess that's the way I lean, minifigure-wise. A real-life person. He was a Finnish sniper in the 1939-1940 Winter War against the Soviet Union. He's using his Finnish variant of the Mosin-Nagant rifle, and with this rifle and a submachine gun, a KP-31, he killed more than 500 men, Soviets, over a 100-day period. And that's amazing. That's like 5 a day. And when you consider this took place in the dead of winter, hence the winter camouflage, where there was few daylight hours, it's just an amazing feat.
Yeah, so we like him so much. We have 4 of them. And yeah, he also appeared on my list as well. So clearly this guy is a great minifigure.
Number 6.
Coming in with his own plaque and little doggo there, it's George Patton.
And Willy! I think the main reason I picked it was because of Willy. This is, of course, George Patton, the American general who led the Third Army into Berlin in World War II. And he's with his beloved bull terrier, Willy, who apparently accompanied General Patton everywhere they went, all through Europe and elsewhere. And one of my favorite Patton quotes, and there are many, he said, and I quote, "I will personally shoot that blankety-blank Hitler, and Willy hopes that he comes back as a fire hydrant," unquote. And we, of course, purchased a pearl-handled single-action army to outfit the duo.
And then also he has on his printed plaque, it says George S. Patton. So yeah, very cool.
5, the Desert Storm U.S. Army Infantry. I mean, I'm serious. What is more dope looking than that gas mask? The answer, there's nothing more dope looking than that. Unbelievable. Just a great look. Just all the accoutrements that were added here. You got the gas mask. You've got body armor. You've got the chocolate chip camo. You've got a M16A2 with a grenade launcher, and if you look closely, Jungle Boots. This guy just screams quality and just exquisite print job. Number 4.
We have the German Stormtrooper with his own printed base plate plaque thing.
1. These Stormtroopers were the roughest, toughest, meanest, mangiest guys in the German army. They were used for, of course, storming trenches, hence their names. He's got a trench mace. He's got an M18 submachine gun, another dope-looking gas mask, and a customized Stahlhelm helmet, which, I don't know, he just looks fierce and ferocious, and I think he's a work of art, and that's the reason I put him at number 4. Coming in at number 3, well, my favorite time period right now is Colonial America and the American Revolution and the French and Indian War. So any minifigure from that period really gets me excited. So I had to, it's a tie between the British and the continental U.S. soldier, what would become the U.S. And they're just very cool looking. It makes me happy to have them in your collection. And yeah, number 2. Seriously considered her for number 1, but at number 2 is, of course, Joan of Arc. And I think maybe in many ways the most exquisite minifigure Brickmania, or quite frankly anyone else, has ever done. The level of detail and thought that went into this minifigure is almost beyond my comprehension. The pennant, the staff, the sword, the armor, the printing is just a beautiful work of art. And a great way to commemorate the patron saint of France, who, 400 years later is still revered the world over for her bravery and courage and leadership and godly devotion. Number 2, Joan of Arc.
Hey, before we reveal number 1, he wanted to show off his honorable mentions, and so yeah.
First we have the Desert Rat and the Desert Fox. One of my favorite campaigns in World War II was the fighting in North Africa, and these figures represent each side of that conflict. And then to round out my honorable mention, I have the
Kursk minifigure.
The famous Kursk minifigure. And the Kursk minifigure is almost legendary, family, because this was the first minifigure that broke the $40 barrier, if I remember correctly. It was like $45.
Maybe.
And we talked about getting it, and we couldn't believe it cost so much, and we hemmed and hawed, and then finally Brickmania lowered the price. But we're talking about this for like months and months. The Kursk minifigure this, the Kursk minifigure that. So this is included mainly for the nostalgic purposes. He was kind of the start of all the exquisite printing that you see pretty much every day on Brickmania products. To me, it kind of started with the Kursk minifigure, where they just upped it to another level and a half. At number 1, I'm sorry, but this thing is just amazing. Joshua picked it right near the top of his list. The Roman Legionary, designed by Amanda. And the shield, the printing, the pylon, the time period, the armor. This thing is just...
It's a work of art.
It's really a wonderful minifig. And that's why it's at number 1. But in all fairness, all of these probably could be number 1 at one point or another. There's not that huge a difference between number 1 and number 10. Quite frankly, in Brickmania land, there's not that huge of a difference between number 1 and number 100. It's just a matter of personal preference. And I think the Roman Legionary just knocks it out of the park and just takes us back to an earlier time, and has been the impetus, thanks a lot Brickmania, thanks a lot Amanda, for us kind of going wild and buying a lot of the Roman fort stuff.
Yes, and we're still hoping to get the Praetorium
somehow or other. We think we're going to wake up some morning and it's going to be out on the front porch all wrapped up for us. So
hopefully.
Anyway, number 1, the Roman Legionary.
That was Dave's top 10 Brickmania minifigures. If you want us to do this for Lego figures, if you want to do this for United Bricks figures, minifigures, although we don't have that many. But that was our top 10. Let us know if you want to do the other top 10 list videos from our personal reference. Anyway, that's gonna wrap it up. Thank you, Brickmania. Thank you, my favorite child.